Second match of today as we go down to the hells of the lower bracket. It's an elimination match between the LEC first and second seed. Mad Lions going against G2 Esports. And for one of the two teams, the dream of holding the MSI 2023 trophy in their hands will end today, as it is winner go home for both. And we will straight go into Game 1.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Ready or not, here they come, and in a European battle between the LEC teams Mad Lions and G2. After we saw Gen G going against T1 in an LCK battle earlier this day, it's now Mad Lions starting from the blue side with Chasey on the Gnar, Elyoya on the Maokai, Niski on the Jace, Karsi on the Jinx, and Hylissang, he's going with the Leona. And for G2 it's Broken Blade playing the Yasuo, Yike, he's on the Kha'Zix, Caps, he's playing Annie and Tibis, Hans Sama on the Aphelios, and Mickey, he's going with the Nautilus. And we're almost 4 minutes into the game as we see Karsi there with a flash dodge, avoiding the hook by Mickey, but he gets slowed by Hans Sama, and then rooted by his Gravitum. And G2 will draw first blood. 2 minutes later is Mickey connecting the hook to Hylissang, followed by the Riptide. Hylissang, he gets rooted by the Nautilus passive, but then he flies with the Zenith Blade on Hans Sama, he gets slain. But now Elyoya and Yike come in. Elyoya is first to the scene, takes out Hans Sama to trade one back, and now Yike, he leaps in on Karsi, takes him down, and Mickey can get away with 2 HP there. 2 minutes later, it's Elyoya with a twisted advance, or Broken Blade cues him back, and then the Gnar of Chasey throws him into the wall, stuns him. The Nature's Grasp roots him. Broken Blade is in on Chasey, then on Elyoya desperately trying to take the jungler's life. But it will be in vain as he gets slain and we jump into the bot side river. Which is another awkward situation for G2 as they're outnumbered 3-2. And someone gets knocked back by the thundering blow of Niski's Jace. And you have to admit that there's nothing that Mickey could do but to leave the scene and save his life. A small consolation for G2 is that Yike can take the first herald of the game. And we look at this hook by Mickey there on Hylissang, and the Nature's Grasp cannot save the supporter of Matt from going down. But Mickey himself, he's trapped there between a massive tree and a furious Jinx. He's going down. The herald crashes into the turret. And not even a minute later, it's again the Nautilus being bullied there in the mid lane by 3 members of Mad Lions. And it will be Elyoya for them obtaining the first dragon of the game after 12 minutes. And now we see Mickey going there for a revenge hook on Hylissang, followed by Hans Sama. Mickey comes through with the audio attack, roots the Leona, follows with the death charge and the Riptide. And now his hook finds the target. And so Hylissang gets grey screened. But there's an invisible and life-threatening super mega death rocket flying in, and Mickey survives with 20 HP. Yike now leaping on Hylissang, numbers advantage for the moment for G2. Mickey connects the hook to Leona Lions, but the damage is just not enough, and so Hylissang, he can get away, and Elyoya, he comes in to save the day. He takes out Yike, and now they're chasing down Mickey, who has no chance to escape. Limping around with 3 HP, but the Titans raw for by some time. He hooks away, is there a possibility to get away, but there's an angry rocket launcher called Fishbones, triggered by an even angrier Jinx who throws his super mega death rocket at Niski. He will have already killed Hans Sama. Yike takes the second herald of the game. On the bottom right screen we see Niski taking down the outer turret in the bot lane, but we keep our eyes on the dive of G2 there, summoning the herald as well. Yike's going for the leap on Elyoya, but he gets interrupted and rooted, but finally he will still manage to take out the Maokai. And also Chasey has no chance to stand against 4 raging members of G2 who will take 2 kills and the outer turret. And the red carpet is rolled out for Sweet Shelly, leading to the inner turret. But nonetheless, it's also 2 turrets taken there by Mad Lions, by the hands of Karsi and Niski. The game is still pretty even as we see the fight for the next dragon. It is secured by G2. Mickey lands a hook on Chasey, knocks up 3 members of the Lions with its zap charge, which leads to Hans Sama kicking into gears as he takes out Chasey. And now Hylissang for a double kill. And now he roots Karsi. He's going for the Jinx next. But it will be Caps who secures the shotgun gold, and now they're going for an isolated Elyoya, and only Niski limps away with a little bit of HP. Outer turret and a bot lane destroyed there by Caps, and we hop into the topside river. The Moonlight Vision is fired on Elyoya, and Niski gets pulled back there by a nasty hook from Mickey, and the Defender of Tomorrow just gets evaporated. And so it's the Jinx of Karsi. The Lions now without an ADC and the mid laner. They have to retreat. Fall back as fast as they can, but the stiffy Maokai of Elyoya is just not fast enough, and so he will take the fast travel back to the fountain as well. And after not much more than 20 minutes, practically on spawn, G2, they can obtain the Baron Nashor, and they are now on the power play going through the bot lane. With Yike and Hylissang a little bit separated from the team, getting into a fight, and the rest of G2 is following the hook of Mickey. Chasey gets obliterated, and the Maokai of Elyoya just gets its branches cut. As you see Broken Blade, they are flashing and dashing around, and he will take out Carsey, but he gets slain by himself. But it doesn't matter because the rest of his team takes out Hylissang, and Yike with the nasty flash leap on Niski will score the ace for G2. And so it will be game 1, going to the LEC's second seed. They will score the first point in this European battle as they take out the Nexus. After not more than 23 minutes, it was an action-packed game with 31 kills in this short amount of time, and we hope that this will be the way to continue in game 2. Game number 2, the first one, was a close one until it wasn't, like they say. Mad Lions and G2, they now switched the sides. The Lions playing from the red side with Chasey on the Aurelia, Elyoya on the Elise, Niski playing the Cassante, and on the bot lane it's Aphelios and Braum, played by Carsey and Hylissang. For G2 it's Broken Blade on the Cassiopeia, Yike, he's playing the Bell with Caps, he's on the Nautilus, and on the bot lane it's Hansama and Mickey on the well-known Jinx and Lulu duo. And we go 4 minutes into the game in the mid lane where we see an angry Niski there, pulling in Caps with his charge Q, and the Nautilus will fall for the first blood drawn by the Mad Lions. Another minute later it's an invade by Elyoya on the Elise, and he gets the kill on the Belveth of Yike, and we are back into the mid lane where we see Niski there again raging on Caps with his all out. The Nautilus trying to get away with the stretch line, getting stumped there on his way back, and his health bars almost disappeared. And Niski just delirious for the kill, going after him, but he will be slain in revenge by Yike, who comes in and trades one back. 2v1 top lane dive after 6 minutes, and in a battle of Snake against Spider, the Reptile will retain the upper hand. In the battle for the first dragon, it's Hansama, Mickey and Caps keeping the Mad Lions at bay for Yike to take the objective. But so they're outnumbered, and the damage of 4 lions is just too much for them to stand against. And so Caps falls victim first, Mickey limps away, Hansama flashes out of the pit, but Yike, he cannot dash out of it. And so he will be eaten up by 4 hungry lions that we now see in the bot lane dive, wilding out on Hansama, who gets sent to the fountain in the blink of an eye. The lions now fall back, but just by a bit, because Elyoya, he's just strolling around the block to then come back for the second dive. And now Mickey becomes the target. He gets slain as Yike dishes onto Hylissang, trying to trade one back. The Braum gets low, but also into safe distance, and finally, it's Carsey with a double kill who takes down Yike as well. 11 minutes into the game, a sweet charge there onto the tier 1 by Shelly, who was collected by Yike there earlier. And we now hop back into the top lane, where we look at Chasey, who gets a little bit too overconfident there against Broken Blade. Low on HP, dashes around with his Q for some life regen and deals some remarkable damage to the G2 top laner. But in the end, Chasey gets killed. Second dragon of the game taken by the Lions, and we look in the mid lane where it's Caps under his turret, attacked there by Carsey. Moonlight Vigil into Gale Force, and then Orlus is sent back to the depths of the Guardian Sea as we up into the bot lane, where I can Broken Blade take out the Navorian Blade Dancer, and also Elyoya on the Elise won't survive for long as Niski at the same time in the top lane takes out the outer turret to collect the first turret gold. Hansama gets attacked there, but he can get away with his life, and so we see the Lions now taking the outer turret in the mid lane, and G2 in return. The second herald of the game. On the bottom right screen we see Chasey taking out the outer turret in the bot lane. We're 17 minutes into it, and G2 will take the outer turret in the top lane in return and summon the mighty and beautiful Shelly, making her way towards the tier 2 of the Lions and crushing into it. And we will see the next team fight arise around it as Niski pulls in Mickey with his charge, and Tofu strikes at a little Yordle there. Just gets evaporated, and the follow-up damage on Yike is huge. He gets slain, and so are Caps and Hansama just moments later. And we see the next scene where the little Yordle of Mickey gets slain again. Elyoya takes the next dragon, and we find ourselves in the battle for the Baron Nashor. The lines all around it as Caps flies in, the depth charge on 3 members. He pulls in Carsey with his hook, and together with Broken Blade and Jack, they take out the ADC of the Lions. Hylissang and Chasey are about to follow, and G2, they win this team fight. They take the Baron. Niski and Elyoya got away there. They destroy the inner turret in the mid lane for a small consolation. But now the Baron power play begins. The tier 2 turret in the top lane falls, and we up into the bot lane, where Hylissang on the Braum gets rooted there by the flame chompers of Hansama's Jinx. The supporter has to take all the damage that G2 can combine for, and no Broken Blade goes in all alone, and this will be his own death. And so the table's about to turn on this power play as Mad Lions, they take out the inner turret in the bot lane. They still have the gold lead, and now we see Elyoyo there, going wild on the little yordle. And now he ascends and repels on Caps. The battle on the bot side jungle of G2 breaks out. But this jungle belongs to the nightmarish Empress Bel'Veth. And so it's Yike taking out the enemy jungler. Caps now with the hook on Chasey. Broken Blade goes in with the Twin Fangs. But the Ionian Blade Dance answers back with the Vanguard's edge into the Blade Surge dashes. Stays alive there for the moment, but just for so long. Because now he falls. Hylissang follows, and G2, they win another team fight. As Carsey gets slain for the double kill for Broken Blade. And now it's only Niski. But it's nasty Niski, and he fights with all the strength and faith and pertinacity, and he managed to take out Hansama before he falls himself. The next dragon goes to G2, and after 27.5 minutes we find ourselves in the mid lane. The next team fight, started by Cap Stretch Line and the depth charge. It's just unfathomable carnage, until we see a super mega death rocket of Hansama taking out Chasey. And so the advantage for G2 is on in this one as Yike comes in for the flank, shredding Niski until he's taken out by Hansama for a double kill. And he keeps on squeezing his fish bones until he takes the triple kill on Hylissang. Carsey has fallen in the meantime, and now the voracious Bel'Veth going for the last living member of the Lions. And so Elyoyo will fall, and this game will find an end. After 28.5 minutes, it will be G2 taking game 2 as well. And they will proceed to the first of 3 potential match point games, looking for a clean sweep on their opponent from the LEC. Match point game number 1 for G2, playing from the blue side again with Broken Blade, again on the Cassiopeia. Yike now playing the Kindred, Caps again on the Nautilus. Hansama is coming straight from the lanes with the Jinx again. And Mickey showing us the Jenna for the first time in this tournament. And for the Lions, it's Chasey on top lane on the Cassante, Elyoyo on the Wukong, Niski playing the Ahri. And the bot lane stays the same as before with Carsey on the Aphelios and Hylissang on the Braum. And look at this cheesy play after 1.5 minutes. It's Elyoyo with his bot laners, and now also Niski going for Caps. The Braum passive stun into the charm of the Ahri will be the undoing for the G2 mid laner. And we're already 7.5 minutes into the game as we see Caps flashing in for a little bit of late revenge, as 4 members of G2 are just destroying Hylissang. And it's just 10 seconds later as Yike decides to come by as well and say hello to Carsey, who's now left alone there under his turret. But he managed to take out Mickey in return, trading 1 for 1, and we're up into the top lane, where we just saw Broken Blade taking out Chasey. But he gets chomped and foxfired by Niski, and in the end it will be Elyoyo taking the kill. And back on the bot lane we see the Kindred of Yike there getting hunted by Hylissang. He already managed to connect 2, now 3 concussive blows. The next one will stun Yike. And so it happens, but Yike, he's almost under his turret. The lamp in grave danger gets ignited there, fires back, and in the end they will both trade 1 for 1 simultaneously. What a play there. And G2 taking the first herald of the game. And now action taking place in the top and on the bot lane, but we focus on the right screen, where it's Broken Blade there, stunned by the Graviton, but he returns to stun with a petrifying gaze on its own. The situation is hopeless there for him, but can he take Carsey with a grey screen? No, he can't. And so we hop back into the top lane, where it's a sweet raging Shelly crushing into the outer turret, and it will fall to the feet of G2. Two bot laners of G2 now on the retreat as Niski Spirit rushes in, connects the Everfrost, and now Hansama and Mickey are running for their lives. The Jinx throws some flame jumpers for Chasey to stumble over, but Jenna is trapped and stunned, and forced to take the shortcut to the base. On the bottom right screen we see Niski taking the outer turret in the bot lane, while G2 will obtain the next herald of the game and now going for the engage on the lines. Hylissang with the Glacial Fissure, but he will be trapped there by the flame chompers of the Jinx. He has to take all the spells that G2 find on the back of Tricks until he's grey screened. And we hop over to the battle between the two mid laners in the bot side. Dredge line into Riptide there by Caps. The Ahri limping away with 2 HP. Niski throws back Charm and Q, but the vigilant eyes of Hansama see that there's a kill to Nick, and he throws the super mega death rocket and collects it. But now it's Elyoyo chasing down Caps to trade one back, and he will be successful as we are back into the mid lane, where we see Shelly taking down the outer turret and now getting a second charge off as well onto the inner one. Hextech Drake, the second one of the game, taken by the Lions as well. And now we see a 5v4 there in favor for G2 in the bot lane. Mickey and Hansama taking the minions with them onto the turret. As we see Broken Blade making his way towards Carsey, he has him isolated there. Chases him down under his tier 2. And eventually, he will have him grey screened. But now he's left there, isolated and alone. And the 4 remaining Lions are eager to take him down in return. 20 minutes into the game, we see another top lane turret crumbling on the sides of Mad Lions, and now we're going for the Baron Nashim. Outside the pit looking for a steal, but the depth charge of Caps comes in clutch. Knocks him up just in time. And so it's G2 taking the Baron buff. The inner mid lane turret was taken by minutes, and now we see this team fight there with Caps and a stretch line connecting to Chasey. And the Casanti has to take a lot of follow-up damage. Uses his all out to take Broken Blade with him out of the danger zone. But he will not lose the deadly reptile going by the name Broken Blade, who launches out for Fatal Twin Fang. And now we see Menchike about to slay the next dragon, which leaves the rest of their team vulnerable in the bot lane. And now here it comes, the attack by the Lions. Caps and Tatsama already below half HP, but as Yike and Broken Blade join the scene, they will backfire, and they will take out Hillesang. Garci falls as well, and now it's Niski and Elyoya running for their lives. As darkness arises over Niski, and so it's only Elyoya reaching the base. The inner turret crumbles, and the question is, how far can G2 go now? Already at the inner turret that falls, the inner itself will go down, but they will be content with it for the moment. Turn their backs on the base to take down the Ocean Dragon, and come back through the topside jungle. With Niski and Elyoya taking Broken Blade to make things happen for their team, but the damage is just not enough. Niski activates his stopwatch in time to avoid the Super Mega Death Rocket, but Elyoya will be killed by the Cassiopeia. And also for Niski, things are looking pretty great, as it will be the Kindred with a Fatal Strike. And within the next seconds, the remaining members of the Lions will be swept off the screen for good, as G2 is walking towards the victory, not just in this game, but they will take the whole series with a clean sweep. The Nexus turrets fall down, the Nexus is exposed as the Lions return to the game, but it will be too late. They will be sent back home, and G2, they continue the fight in the lower bracket, facing the next elimination match on their way to the highly coveted MSI Trophy 2023.
Lost in space, superhero vibes up. Put your hands up if you wanna go.